Alright folks, back to the build series on the 4x4 trophy truck. And now I'm figuring out this front bumper. Because for the first time I am using the HID lights from Proline. It was actually pretty hard to find them, but I got 2 sets of them. So they're all going on this truck. It's going to sit like that. I'm going to have one there and one right there. So it's going to be 6 total on the front. And then obviously I'm going to have the big curved bar on the top part. So I still have to make that. But I'm just worrying about the front part for now. You just screw it with these, similar to how I did on Mini Zeus. And that worked well, so hey, why not do it again? And that's not going anywhere. This is just the same exact thing, same exact dimensions for the holes. The main reason for this is to try to get it to sit a little bit lower inside here. But it's still looking a little bit too high. Alright, so here is my solution. Even though this looks so good, it's easy to do, it's already ready to go. It's just too high. I can't stick a bar in there to run this top piece, so this can't work. I made a mount, drilled 4 holes in the similar spots as that one, and I even put some notches so they don't spin around. So this is gonna go in here like that, and you can already see it sits way lower. Not to mention, it's 4 of them on one piece, so it's not gonna be individual like it was before. That was a pain in the ass, and I only had it like that for about an hour. Alright, so we are finally at the point to weld on this front piece on the bumper. It's pretty short, but I wanted something that stuck out a little bit further than the valance, so I mean, that's really all I needed. That was really ugly. Oh well. Alright, so I made up a couple options here and I did a little group vote with myself, and I decided I wanted to go with the center option. This one I was worried about some of the light getting blocked off if you're looking at it from an angle, so I scratched that one off, and this one was just kind of plain to me, so I was going with this one right here. That was my choice. So as far as the lights, I just made this little test mount, but it's going to be a similar one for the final version. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it all the way wide so I can mount these ones on it also, but for sure it's going to have these 4 mounted on them, so I could take this off in one piece. And also with the valance, I sort of mocked up that old piece I had. It's going to be just like that, just sort of what I wanted in the first place, but decided not to. Alright, so after a long battle to get this mount made, have it done. So this is what we're looking at right now. Just to show with the body. Now I can finally finish this bumper and then fix the roof. But we got this situated, we got these upper welds done, so it's time. So this is gonna sit right there. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just weld up these on both sides so I can just estimate where this needs to go, sand if needed, and then tack it. Obviously I gotta check it to make sure it's straight before I weld this thing up completely, but man, did that take a long time to get that on there. Alright guys, I'm super excited because this thing's coming together nicely. This thing just drops right into place. Sits exactly where I need it to. So I'm really excited about that. And now I am working on mounting this grille piece. So I made 2 little L brackets. So that I'm not running the lights, I'll just simply screw this on. So that's gonna go right in there. So I can take off the body and it'll still be on there. Alright, so after a pretty productive day yesterday, we got this front bumper finally situated. I gotta say, I love how it turned out. That's the look I wanted originally, but I sort of wimped out and went the easy route. But I'm really happy I decided to redo it. So my next thing I want to do is make some of these side body mounts. They're gonna go right here. Just enough to do a little mount just like that. See, this body's not gonna move at all. There you go. Alright, so I'm trying to plan out these top bars here, and I was getting worried because it was a tight fit with these lights. And I wanted to keep these on one piece, so I was wondering how I was going to remove this thing. And I was trying to see if I could slide it out sideways, and I was trying all sorts of things, but seems like if I can get one half out, I can do that and lift it out the top. It's a tight squeeze in there and then on that side, so I'm just trying to make this work here without anything rubbing. Alright, so I basically have every single clip that I own on this thing to make sure it's straight and steady while I weld this. Because last time on Zeus, this part, one of them was a little bit higher than the other, and that always bugged me, so I'm making sure this thing's perfectly straight this time. Alright, I'm kind of liking that, guys. Nice and straight. Looks like it should be even and flat. Alright, we're in good shape. Alright guys, back to the build, and I've been making some good progress on the panels here. I'm going with all black on the outside, and on the inside I'm doing a little bit of carbon fiber as well as on the top. So I thought about doing carbon fiber all around, but it seemed like it was just going to be a little bit too busy. So I'm just going to do it in a few places. But right now, I want to show y'all how I'm going to do these front ones. So once again, I have my templates cut out here. I'm going to do one, this is going to be one piece that has 2 folds on it. And then this other piece is going to go right here. Alright, so if you guys are wondering exactly what plastic I'm using, this is 1/16 inch black ABS plastic. And it's honestly the best that I've found over the years. Anything thinner for me sort of starts to wrinkle up over time, and this is just really heavy duty. It can take rocks, and it sort of holds its own shape when you put it on there. So that's what I like to use. And now I'm just going to show y'all how I'm going to cut this out. When I'm doing this, I use a black Sharpie, not a silver one, so I don't get any marks when I'm cutting these out. Like I said, guys, it's not going to be perfect the first time, so just give yourself a little bit of extra space when you're cutting these out, so you can trim them up if you need to. Just cut out the rough shape there. Now we got to mark where these folds need to go. So as you see here, they're all folding inward. Since this is the front side, I'm going to flip it over and then go corner to corner here and score it. You don't have to go all the way through, just a light score, so you can just get a little bit of bend out of it. Right, so you're forcing it to bend. You don't want it to bend on its own. So like that. Like I said again, just be very gentle while you're doing this. You don't want to snap it. And if we did it right, it should fit. Let's see. So that's pretty close. So now we just got to trim up this bottom edge a little bit more, and then we got our panel. Alright guys, check it out. Finished up these panels, and this is the point where you're just going to sit back and stare at it because it looks completely different. It's all wrapped now, and it looks finished. Because when you get these panels on there, it's a lot of work, but when you finally get to see what it looks like with all of them, it's pretty awesome. I'm really happy how this inside one turned out. It's the first time I did carbon fiber and a little bit of mesh. I think it looks great, so I might do the same thing up front here. So I still have a little bit to go. I have this whole rear panel I need to figure out next. It's probably going to be the same as this up here. And then I got to figure out the top plate for this battery mount. So that's what I have to do next. Just wanted to show y'all how it looks with these done. And I'm excited. This thing's looking killer. Wanted to show you guys how I set up my POV shot inside the cage. So this is the mount I made for it. This was the first version that I used on Mini Zeus. And all it is just a piece of steel here, a little L bracket mounted on it so it can screw it onto the cage. So this thing is very sturdy. It doesn't shake at all, as you've seen in the videos. So I'm going to replicate that in this newer one, and since this cage is a little bit bigger, I have to make a taller version of it so it sits higher up in the cage, and the higher up that GoPro is, the better you're going to be able to see out the window. As far as mounting it inside, it's going to be another L bracket at the bottom, and I'm just going to screw it down. So it's pretty straightforward, really simple, and it works. So you're going to hop inside the truck for a second. Hopefully you should be able to see out here pretty good. Now let's try it with the body. So there you go, that's how it would look from the inside there. What's up? Should be a nice shot. And right now my next step is sort of to just get this thing back together so I could see how the shocks are looking. But as far as the functionality of this truck, it's basically ready to drive. I'm just waiting on a new RX-8. My old one sort of had a little issue. It's pretty old, it's almost 3 years old now, maybe 4. So it's been beaten on a lot, and I'm surprised it's lasted this long, but it's been a workhorse in these trophy trucks, I gotta say. Haven't had one issue up until now, so I'm excited to actually get a new one. I'm gonna get a Gen 3 for it, and I'm probably gonna get the 2500 kV Pro 4 HD and run it on 3S. So that's it for this part of the truck build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see you guys next time.